All right, it is the mics are open, episode 291. My name's G Money.
Andy Young.
Big C. Sorry.
Why?
Okay, let's go
ready?
again. Let's go again.
Now you're ready. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is the mics are open, episode 291. My name's G Money.
Andy Young.
Big C. How you guys?
No, you gotta let Shinski talk, bro. Come on.
What? Okay.
That was take two.
You know what the craziest thing about it is? Like, Calvin organized us to have an amazing guest today. Shinski, now you don't even let him speak.
Let's go again.
Okay,
All right.
take 3.
The mics are blood clot open. Check.
Select accent for the podcast.
Calvin always late.
This is the mics are open, episode 291. My name's G Money.
Andy Young.
Big C.
DJ Shinski.
In the building. A round of applause for the mic.
Got the event.
Welcome, man.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me over here.
Good to have you on set, man.
Yeah.
For real. You know, while I was driving to the studio, I was thinking, you know, Shinski as a DJ, like even on his mixes and during COVID, especially when he was talking to the audience, but I've never really sat down and just heard you just have a conversation. So I'm blessed that you've
No,
given
because
us...
the man is always DJing, bro. Whatever you, you either see him playing or he's asleep. Either or. No, I'm kidding.
How do you know he's asleep?
Because I'm a DJ. I know the life of a DJ. I can guess the life of a DJ. Nice try though. Nice try though.
Nice
Nice try.
Yeah, welcome, man. And it's the crazy mics are open. We just talk, man. How's it going?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah?
Here for my tour. I'm about to wrap it up, Kidogo, in a few days.
Right.
Yeah, but it's been a blessing.
It's been
so
a busy one. Like you even had time to break your foot.
Oh yeah.
When they said break a leg, that's not what they were talking about.
What happened, man?
Man, someone told me I took Anguka now seriously. Man, I was in Ghana. First time in Ghana, I was so excited. I think I was really too excited because I went down the stairs and I'm just like,
Bam.
twisted my ankle.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you're good now?
Yeah, luckily nothing was fractured or anything.
Okay.
So it's just maybe torn ligaments. Yeah,
Oh,
but
wow,
it's
right.
doing well, so.
So the only thing you're breaking on this tour is heart, huh?
Oh, wow.
For real, man. But I mean, end of the day, it's like it's interesting for me, you know, as a DJ as well. I really love the way in which you've managed your brand over the years. Like from the first time you came onto our scene, and like I really see intention behind everything you do. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Was it a surreal moment like the first time you said, let me do a Kenyan tour? Because this is home.
Yes.
You know, how do you go do? It's like now me saying, let me go visit my people at home like a superstar now. You know, they haven't seen me in a minute. They're going to celebrate me and all that.
Yeah.
But this is home. So I know it's not the first time you're doing like a tour where we, you know, you're home, you know, we're on the lineup. But the very first time, what was that moment like for you?
Wow, I think it was after COVID. After, I think it was 2021, 2022, when clubs were opening up and everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was November 2021. That's when Kenya opened up. And I just like, let me book my first flight at Akaraka and come.
Right.
And when I remember I was DJing at Gemini, and there was 2 things that happened to me. The lights went off when I was DJing.
Okay.
And everybody was looking at me like, Shinski. And they were just chanting, Shinski.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay. Yeah. I've never heard that before.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is real.
This is real.
It's insane.
Luckily, the lights came on. We continued DJing. And then this lady just came out of nowhere and she's like looking at me. She's crying. Oh my God, I've met you finally. And she was just crying.
Yeah, they ain't crying when they're meeting us out. God damn.
Like tears. It's so.
Andy has bim crying for different reasons.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
So I didn't even know how to, I didn't know what to do. I was like, thank you. I was speechless.
Was she pretty?
Yes, she was.
And you didn't know what to do?
So I mean, that's very interesting because was this because like obviously you've been doing your mixes, you've been going live because you're going live a lot during COVID.
Yeah.
Was it that you underestimated the impact of what you was doing over there? Yeah?
Yes. I underestimated it because when you're doing it online, you don't really get to see the people.
True.
You only see numbers.
Right,
so you can just see this number of views and everything. And most of the time, I'm just DJing. Me and my brothers there help me out with the videos.
Wow.
So when you actually get to see the audience and see your fans and interact with them and you talk to them, and they tell you like, oh, you made my COVID experience, you saved my life or something like that. They just say like, hey, without your music, like, that's yeah, it's
That's
just
crazy. You know, there's a time I was in Amsterdam, and this is before Case had come back, and I was meeting Case for a coffee, and we were just outside a coffee shop in just not even in central Amsterdam, and we just heard a voice from the window say, "Yo, Grouchy, lockdown session." I like, it's G-Money, but yeah, but that was the most random, and I can imagine like you're just in the middle of so to speak.
That's too random.
That's crazy. So I think a lot of people who I think even for us as a podcast who navigated the whole COVID time, I think we kind of underestimated the impact that we had on like keeping people sane.
Yes.
Because I think honestly, the first check, okay, I always talk in checks, but the first check that we made for COVID was when we weren't even doing YouTube. It was IG. And we were doing lives on IG, and then
Valentine's
came in, and they were like,
Valentine's,
So I think that we because it's like you said, you're just in the room with you, a camera, maybe a bro.
Yes.
How do you deal with it? Because I kind of sense that you're not really that guy who wants to be. You're not a limelight.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
You're so like you're really laid back. Like
Yes.
Them niggas is snipers, bro. Dangerous. Dangerous.
How do you do with it, or how did you do with it? Have you grown into it, or what?
I think I had to grow into it. At first, I was really, really, really shy about it. But I think COVID kind of pushed me to that level where like I have to do it. Otherwise, people will not get to know who I am, my face and everything. So it's just something that I had to force myself to do it because I believe in change. Sometimes you have to change
And evolve,
and evolve to become something better. Yeah. So you can say when I'm DJing, like I try to give another personality than who I am. Like
Right.
Two different people.
Two different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like what?
Here we go.
Working in the theater. Yeah, you gotta. It's the same thing for us guys on radio. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
You're not too talkative out here.
True.
Yeah.
Of radio.
No. It depends.
No,
No,
he's-
G is them type. He's an ambivert. G is an ambivert, leaning more towards not an extrovert. No, I think you're more an ambivert. Depending on who's around you, you could either talk or just maintain. If you're meeting strangers, of course, you're not gonna, go loud, talk.
I asked Shinski that because I know initially, I struggled with that whole, like, because when I first came to Kenya, for example, the level of interest was just like, what is this? I'm not used to, because in the States, I guess it's the same. You could do radio, you can do a club, but you can go about your business but here it was much more intense. So it was difficult to, and like you said, you have to grow into it. But I still feel that you do get to keep a bit of yourself. You have to keep a bit of yourself, because if you put it all out there, it's just like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
But what's the reception like for the Kenyans out there? Because you guys have always thrown the parties, Madaraka weekend, July 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Touring, because I've seen, I mean, I see your posters and everything. You and, what's it? Sistuki.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are always up and about, right?
Yeah.
What's the reception like over there?
When big up Aida as well, because they saw she
shout out
was
to
part
Aida.
of the mix as well.
Yeah, big up Aida, big up Sistuki, and all the other DJs in the States.
Calvin's.
Calvin's,
He's
yeah.
here now, right?
Yeah,
He's
is he?
home now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost the same feeling, because we nowadays, like we want to appreciate our music and our culture. So what's happening now? Used to be a time where like we as Kenyans, we were like moving towards just listening to Afrobeats and piano, so we get lost with the other
That
West
whole
Africans.
sound.
But now if we throw our own events, they'll come and support because they want to listen to Ambertone and again get the Kenyan music. They want to have the Kenyan vibe.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to keep that culture like that.
But let me ask you this, right? And I witnessed it the other day by Dubai Sevens with the Kenya band.
Yeah.
Everybody wears it, right? There was a guy who was wearing it, but wasn't Kenyan. He was Ugandan.
My uncle wears one, and he's a Jamaican.
You get Yeah, so I'm like, yo, where you from? He's like, I'm from the neighboring country. So it's the same thing because we all speak Swahili.
Yeah.
We listen to the same music.
Yes.
Tanzanians, we play their music, they play our music. Do you get the same thing with Tanzanians and Ugandans and guys from the East African community
The
coming to your
Rwandese
gig?
community as well. Don't forget that.
The Rwandese community.
Yeah.
For you.
Don't forget
Shout
that.
out to you. Do you get them coming through as well?
Oh yeah, they do. They do. Nowadays, like we try to. I think the East African culture are trying to come together, and so we can have our voice because, now with the Afrobeats, Amapiano is taking over.
Right.
We're trying to also establish our own voice and
Right.
making sure that even when we're in our own parties, I mean, even different parties, like let's say big parties like Afro Nation, we want also to represent ourselves there.
Fact.
Yeah.
I think one thing I've noticed with this crop of DJs, promoters, is that back in the day, the issue I used to have with Kenyan DJs and promoters who live abroad is that I could never understand why they couldn't work together. So, for example, like I used to go to do gigs in Dubai, and let's say it was a holiday or whatever it was, you'd find 3 separate gigs
Yeah.
happening, 3 Kenyan gigs happening on the same
Same night.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always used to say to myself, why don't you guys just work together and do one big event? But I feel like especially in places like Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, not so much as it used to be, but like I feel like you guys are more united than the previous guys before.
I think so. It used to be
Wild.
wild. I think because also the audience we had a big audience as far as the Kenyans. So we could gamble and say, okay, this promoter will go with this bunch of people and this. But nowadays it's a little bit scarce because everybody's, especially the Kenyans and the East Africans, they're intermingling with other people.
Right, right.
So if we don't unite and
Right.
give them a proper product, they're not gonna come to the show.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, because they're like, why am I coming there? And there's another show that I can go to, and we don't have all this politics going on. So I think nowadays we're getting there, and I hope that we can reach to a level where, like, when we do our own shows, like all the promoters and everybody just comes and support us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why I was asking that, right? We kind of touched on it. In the UK,
Yeah.
so 2023, Sauti Soul did a show. And it was pretty packed, right? I think they did 2 nights or something, and you saw them do like a European tour. Last year we saw BN do that as well,
Yeah.
right? Last year, Madaraka Festival was set to happen, but that didn't go through. Hopefully this year it does. And I saw Chiki talking about you guys
Yes.
helping you, Ida, and Calvin's for BN's tour. I know and I've seen it, right? And speaking to different Nigerian promoters and artists, right? The community has really held them down, asking you guys have to come, filling up venues and what. Is it the same? Guys are asking for guys. Because I just saw, I think he just did a show, a tour. What's her name? X Factor.
Who's that?
Nikita?
Nikita.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. She just did a couple of shows out in December. Guys are asking for it. Is the energy there?
The energy is there. I think I want to say the packaging. We're still working on the packaging because
Right.
it has to be packaged right. Because Nikita she's a great artist, but I think maybe the packaging behind it of like selling to the Kenyans, like you know, or the other Africans, like this is
how it is.
Yeah, this is a good product, or this is going to be a good performance. So I think that's why I noticed that with even when Ray came last year, and also the same time Nikita. So the packaging, I felt like it needed some extra push.
Yeah.
So that's why I reached out to Bien and Chiki and the manager. I was like, oh, you're coming to the States? I'm more than happy to come and help you guys out and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Since I do a proper packaging, a proper tour. Now, since I DJ in different cities, so I know which city I can reach out to the promoters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and just tell them, hey, we just need this Bien tour. It's gonna make a statement for Kenyan artists coming in from henceforth from this year, because if it's done well, and Kenyans come and support, then the next time someone like we have all these urban tone guys coming in, people will come and support it because they're like, hey, by the way, last time Kenyans can do a proper show.
And funny, that's how Nigerians have done it.
Yeah.
They go, one of them goes there, finds out about a promoter. No gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Finds out about a promoter in a particular city who's really good. So you tell guys, hey, talk to this guy.
Yeah.
So on and on and on and on. So I can see the vision. Yeah. All the guys coming in. I mean, the Abanton guys just did a tour in Australia. And it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
They did about 3 weeks or something. So you can imagine Australia is like little Eldoret. Yeah.
Right.
But it can really jump.
I think there's two things that I think as like in your case as a DJ, right? Now a lot of times, and I always say that people don't respect DJs unless the DJ makes you respect them. And I always say that if it left to a club owner, the DJ booth would be next to the toilet. You see what I'm trying to say? So you kind of have to demand that respect. But as a Kenyan who lives in the States, and you come back quite often, and you've been with us the last couple of months through a very crazy time in terms of the... how do you feel when you're out there and you see some of the crazy stuff that's like happening back home? Like how does that? Because end of the day you were in the States during the whole Mano thing.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I know you're watching it now through a lens of how it's being reported, just on the mainstream as well as I know you can watch local news online and stuff.
Yeah.
But what does that feel like?
The funny thing is, my other African friends, I have some Tanzanian friends, some Ugandan and some Nigerians. When they watch the Maandamano, and they're like, wow, you guys have balls.
Wow.
Kenyans have balls. Or Tanzania, they're like,
Tuko salama.
we'll
Even
complain.
Uganda, the same thing.
Yeah.
So it was an inspiration, because also now us Kenyans in the diaspora are like, no, we gotta do something. That's when we also went out there and we also did some
Protests
gatherings
over there.
Yeah, in different cities.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So we did some gatherings there, and we went to like different popular places, and we also made sure demonstrated and I think it's an inspiration to other African countries, because I think after that we had some Maandamano was it in Nigeria?
In Nigeria,
It was like snowballing.
Ghana sent a letter in advance. They were like, we want a protest, Charlie. Later. Yeah.
And you're right, because I mean, in that moment when I think back, really and truly, Kenya and Kenyans were being saluted by Africans across the continent. You guys have balls to stand up and stuff. And I think sometimes when you experience things away from home, it really, especially when you live in a system that quote unquote works, it really opens your mind as to what the possibilities are as a nation. You know what I mean? What do you love most about being home, and what do you hate most about being home?
And what was the craziest reverse culture shock you experienced?
When I went
coming back home?
Or coming back home?
Yes, on the reverse.
On the reverse?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Usually they ask me the other way around. Okay, that's a very good question. So I think what I like the most about coming home is just the people. Ile unaingia kwa airport and you see your own people and you can just talk to them in Swahili and just like, hey, here's my
It's a luxury.
VP. Yeah, it's a luxury. Because, in the States, you have to
English
deal
is
with...
hard, man. I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kizungu
Kizungu because of the first few times when I was in the first few months I was there.
Yeah.
I was working at my sister got me a job at a call center,
Oh wow.
customer service.
Oh,
Wow. That's literally the deep end.
deep end.
Literally, my first job.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
See, I'm telling you. No, you must have done that. See, I'm telling you.
plug out the router.
Well, bro, I thought I knew English. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I found the foundation. Like I learned because there's a different accent American have.
Yeah.
Pulled.
It's very, very, like at first it was so hard for me to understand them sometimes. But it took a while so I can, because when you see the TVs and movies, it's not the same how they talk. And so I was answering phone calls 8 hours a day.
Damn.
Like, hey, hello, this is Steve. Welcome to T-Mobile. How can I help you? And like,
I'm feeling bad. I have a heart attack out here. Out here, I tell you, out here.
Come against
Yo, he's right though. Like, you go some places like in the deep south.
yeah,
You
Alabama.
don't even know what language these guys are talking.
You're missing
Like,
it.
Your
you
teeth were
miss
tough,
that
man,
like
see.
crazy. So that was. I mean, the call center. That's a culture shock in itself.
It's culture, man. But I think it made me learn how to speak to them very fast, and also learning customer service skills and everything.
Right.
But I think now that's one thing I appreciate about being in Kenya, because you get to interact with people with language yako too, and you just feel comfortable, and also everybody's is Kenyan.
Yeah.
He's black, you
Oh,
know.
no, I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Right.
just
True.
you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the nice side. What do you hate about being back home? Because you know, I could. I'm an ethical hater,
Let's go. Get to
and
hate.
I'm not.
A hater in a gated community.
I'm a hater in a gated community.
get your
Right?
hate
I'm
off,
ethical,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
And there are some things that I'm sure we all have things that we hate. And one of my recent hate, I've recently started to hate Twitter. And
No, that one is not reason.
Weren't you like
You have an
the head
intense
boy?
relationship with
used to be on the board of governors.
No, but let me tell you why. It's because I feel that now it's just more and more
Toxic.
toxic for one, and more of an echo chamber. For example, it's like
Woo.
I use this Caliph Cairo as an example.
Right.
It's like if there was one movie that we knew was gonna happen,
Was this one?
was that movie.
Yeah. Title and everything.
We knew, like when Caliph was doing his thing and he's flying jets and he's going to Jamaica, he's doing all these things and his life was look great and there's all of these baddies. I just sat there thinking, we said it. This movie is going to end badly.
Yeah.
Prophets of
Guys be watching and they're just like,
But the point is, it's like what now I really detest about some of the social spaces is how happy
guys are.
people are when other people are experiencing trouble.
Yeah. It's crazy,
Like,
right?
it's crazy. And the thing is, with IG, once I put a post up, right, I only get the negativity if you choose to write on my wall. You get me? I don't see it. But on IG but on Twitter, it's just thrown at you. And I don't follow anyone on Twitter. I follow like 8 people on Twitter. So you just get a selection of them.
I love those hate tweets, bro.
Oh man,
Someone took their time to address you. It means they consume what you do and all that.
Yeah, man.
So you care for me in a different way, and I'm okay.
I
with
know,
it.
I get it. I just find it, and I mean, like I said, I'm an ethical hater, but I find that sometimes, like the things that people choose to hate on, I just like.
No, but
enough.
you know, it's interesting that sorry, I should have swallowed that.
Hey,
Flagrant.
No.
come on, man.
Flagrant.
Yo, I was watching this Cairo thing. It all started unfolding some weeks back, right? But on Saturday, when the video was posted of him at Capitol Hill Police Station, and I just saw the tweets coming in. Guys are just like, yo,
Bro.
this guy, he can't even pay 2 million. What? Hey, bro. I think the last tweets that I saw about that whole story was just like, yo, let me unplug. yeah, was when someone was like, yo, all of those babes, they've even deleted his pictures and what. I'm just like, God damn. Guys are invested.
But we always know this, manze. And I remember the last time this conversation came up was blankets the other week, when we had a bunch of guys on ground who were talking about the fact that, damn, you know, I saw a lot of people talking about this event, saying this and that on Twitter, on social media, blah, blah, blah. But now that I'm here, I'm seeing a completely different thing. Right. So it's always the thing of hiding behind a keyboard, you know, being a keyboard warrior. And we've said this many times, it's because there aren't repercussions on social media. You can say something to someone and you move on with your life. But I to even extend the conversation further, I love the social experiments that I see on TikTok of, you see how maybe you can be hating on Manchester United and a particular player. You're just a regular fan, right? But...
Hey. Oh!
I shouldn't have used I should have let the sleeping dogs lie.
I've seen people... Oh, that's my camera. Dare you! I think hating on my... Aye! Bro,
let me tell you.
Listen.
Let me tell you one thing, right? You care for Manchester United as much as you care for your dog.
It's okay. It's still my dog.
You only care for it when it's suits.
You know, here's the thing. You said you're an ethical hater. I'm an ethical lover of Manchester United.
Oh, so when you're up, you're
no,
up.
me, I'm a typical African parent. You say this is my child if they're performing well. If they're not performing well,
you are child.
Yeah, are you a football guy? Go on, just say which team you support.
Right?
You know, you're a Chelsea fan.
I grew up with Arsenal.
Hey, there you go.
Come on now.
All right, cool. So close the turn of Mike. But you see, the thing is, like, are you like, for you, are you a Twitter, IG? What's your preference?
IG. I prefer IG. Twitter.
Are you on Twitter?
I am, but man, no.
What do you use Twitter for? That's the question I'd ask. Whoever is laughing, I know your bookmarks are crazy.
I know you use it for.
I know your bookmarks are crazy, Byron.
Twitter, just posting like my schedule. That's it.
Okay.
And catching up with the
news. Catching up with scandals, news, and what's going on in Kenya. Yeah.
Speaking about catching up with scandals, what's going on in the States? 19th US is shutting TikTok down. How are you feeling about that? This is for the room. It's not for.
I'm not big on TikTok, but I like TikTok because it can grow your audience so fast. And every time when I post something, I get more traction than on Instagram.
TikTok, right?
Yeah. But
I disagree about the ban in TikTok.
It's
like, what national security threat?
No, so funny enough, I was just watching. When you guys go on Twitter, right? Twitter's just dropped something new. When you go on your search bit, right? There's a new thing. It gives you for you. Right at the top, it has something called live. And what they have right now is, I think, about 6 or 7 episodes. It's called The Art of the Sarge. So this is a whole documentary about how Trump came to be president. This is on Elon's Twitter
platform.
Like, it's a whole documentary. Like, you can actually watch it.
Okay.
Very interesting, right? So there's one bit, I think, on episode 2 where Trump is saying he's on the jet and, you know, they're going from state to state, right? And so he was talking about a book that they were dropping last year. And he goes through like different pictures with the leaders. And he's like, North Korea, he's a very good guy. We actually had like, this was a very well-spoken, like this is behind the scenes of Trump speaking about it. Then Xi Jinping, the leader, Chinese. He's like, I think this is one of the most powerful leaders China has ever had. And we really had a whole brilliant conversation with him, and we signed a deal that guaranteed that we got $50 billion as a US through trade. And how he spoke about him, I was just like, this is interesting. You know, Trump is very, you know, with
gray areas.
Yeah. And you think about what the Dems have done, and now the Republicans, how it's going to be. I honestly don't think it's going to be banned, right? And also remember, Elon, who's now head boy, was opposing the whole ban on TikTok.
Yes.
He'd actually said, he was like, no.
I mean-
and this whole freedom of speech conversation, I mean, you've seen what Zuckerberg put out the other day with how they're going to drop the filters. And they've even come out with some new communication this week. I think they've kind of tweaked a couple of things in readiness for the ban
of TikTok.
Yeah.
So I mean, a TikTok ban, it's tricky because the ban's supposed to go into effect on the 19th
Yes.
of
Yeah.
January,
Yeah.
and Trump's inaugurated on what, the 20th?
20th.
Yes,
Yeah.
20th, literally the day
So, like,
after.
Grand opening and grand closing.
Yep, literally.
So we'll see if it actually takes place. I don't know. I enjoy TikTok for the simple reason that I don't get it 100%, and the bits of it that I partake in, I enjoy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Freedom of speech. I reckon. What do you reckon?
I don't think it's gonna be a complete ban on it. Maybe they might say, okay, maybe in government offices or if you stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I don't think it's bringing too much money to the U.S. economy. then.
Yeah.
Think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
out of US population, 150 million people on TikTok.
It's wild.
And
That's literally half of the population.
and we're in the era of streamers, bro. And
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
how such things came about. Like the jobless community has been eating good since people started paying attention
The
to what's
creator
going on
economy.
online,
Yeah.
Because I can make content from the comfort of my own house, from the comfort of my own room. I don't need to get at a large sum of money to invest as capital, blah blah blah. And then now, after I've gotten this thing going, I have clients, I have brands who want to work with me. The avenue that I used to come up, you want to shut it down as well. So you can see the domino effect of this. It's a ripple effect. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how they go about it. I know it's politics at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Yeah, but crazier things have happened, And also Americans have also started jumping on the Red Note app, which seems to be somewhat similar to,
Yeah.
the short format kind of content on TikTok.
So what's interesting about Red Note is this, right? It's been in existence since 2013, first and foremost, right? But with the surge, because it's number one in the US App Store right now, and a lot of guys have moved on to it, right? Just in case. It's all a preventative measure. But what's interesting is now the app developers of the app actually spending more time changing some tabs to English, because a lot of it is
Oh, yeah.
actually
In
Chinese,
it's in Mandarin, right?
Mandarin.
Red Note.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Oh, wow.
So guys are now, the developers have said, okay, cool, we've noted that there's a surge. So now we have to change up a lot of that. So it's interesting. If it does happen, boop, guys will move on to that.
I don't know whether it was facts or jokes, but I saw some guys on Twitter talking about the fact that there's so many Asian kids who now, because of this surge, are getting in touch with Americans to help them with their English assignments and all of that.
Right.
So like the exchange has already started,
It's
happening. So you don't think of such things when it comes to social media and people getting in touch or into contact with one another. But it shows you how deep it can go. Pause. Like if it can go to an area where I wouldn't have thought of. This is academics, and if they're interacting on these grounds or on this basis, then who's to tell how far this app can go, or what we are trying to do by limiting their use on a different app that allows them the same access. So again, it's just going to be interesting to see how this one plays out.
I mean, just as we've said, and also this week, the rumor was there was the whole pivot towards Elon acquiring TikTok, because so the thing is this, right? Either you exit or it's bought by a US entity, a good percentage of it, right? So guys were thinking about, there was the rumor that was thrown out, right? And then same day it came out and they verified and said no, Elon's not putting in a bid. But that's how ideas are created. And if you've got like the kind of money that my guy has, aish,
Right.
that's a trick.
I don't know.
You think he has the muscle to acquire
What?
TikTok?
No, he has the money
He does.
and the muscle.
You think so?
He can
I feel
Yo.
like his hands are
Tight.
busy.
No, but
He's almost half a trillion, bro. And these guys only want like 40 something.
I don't know, man.
I don't want to see a world where Elon owns Twitter and TikTok.
Why not?
No. The
Why
US
not?
entity of it.
Right.
But still,
it's still
yeah,
that's
it's
a major
still-
market.
yeah.
It's a lot of power, man.
but I don't even think the
But is
communists.
he using it in a good way or in a bad way? That's the thing.
depends on your take.
But
I'm
honestly,
asking you.
Who, Elon?
Do you think Elon is
No.
using?
Here's
Because
the-
this is that ideology of you have the this is Avengers, you have the gauntlet, you can do anything with it. Whoever possesses this has all the powers.
You know,
so given to Elon, do you think he's gonna be responsible with it, or he's gonna do some Thanos shit?
Elon knows exactly what he's doing, right? Right now, I mentioned that right here on the podcast, I think last week, the resignation of the Canadian PM.
Yeah.
And how he's supporting one of the major candidates. Have you seen what he's doing in Germany?
What's he doing in Germany?
Yeah. He's supporting one of the candidates. Why is he supporting? Because he has a big factory in Germany.
Yeah.
So do you really reckon that the Communist Party in China would agree for Elon to control and have a stake?
well.
Hell no.
Now you've shifted the goalpost. That's a different conversation, but I see where you're
No,
going
but
with that.
but you see, like I mean, think about it. Why should somebody have the power like Elon Musk to influence a Canadian election or influence a German election? That's a lot of power.
That's a lot.
It is.
Is support influence?
No, you could call it whatever it is, right?
Unless
Here's the
it's Man
thing.
United.
It is influence. It is influence.
Yeah,
It's influence.
Because the moment Elon Musk was donating or supported Trump,
250 million US.
250, that's a lot of money for a campaign.
And I don't care what no one says. If
Yeah.
somebody puts 250 million into something,
Yeah, it's gonna do something.
I want something back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is the payoff for Elon on all of these things?
No, the question is, where else am I supposed to get the money from this campaign if I have an angel investor who's probably gonna get, a lot more back once I'm in office,
No, world over this does happen, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys saw the document for 2007 elections for, was it ODM? What was it called? ODM.
MOU.
No. Was it?
That one.
There's
one.
always a coalition,
Yeah.
right? So they put out a whole list of who
Gets
donated. Hey, there's guys who are given 50 million, bana. Yeah, some companies, international companies, industries, MPs, everyone.
Would you take money from a drug dealer?
Would I take money from a drug dealer?
Yeah.
How much?
Organized crime, bro. Organized
No,
crime.
listen. Behind every
It's clean.
Behind every great fortune, there's a great crime.
Crime, true.
Behind every great fortune. So would I take money from a drug dealer?
Yes.
No.
That
no,
being
no,
said.
No. So
No.
what does he sell? Is it weed?
No.
hard
Cocaine,
stuff?
bro. Yeah. Not
Cocaine.
weed. Yeah.
No, I think
What did you want me to do with the money?
I think
You want to get into politics.
here's the thing.
No, here's the thing. You are altruistic.
Right.
You just don't have the means.
Money, right?
So here comes Mr. Narcos. He's got the big bucks. And it's clean. By the time it's getting to you,
It's clean.
It's clean.
It's from a clean source.
Yes. He probably owns a club or something, franchises, and he goes through that whatever franchise and says, through this franchise, I'm going to
I like
fund
the way
your
you're cleaning the
campaign.
money. Go on, keep cleaning it. Clean it
So
a little bit more.
are you throwing a cape into the ring, or because now you have the means
Being funded by clean money
from Mr.
a
Narcos?
questionable source?
Yeah.
No.
Are you taking it? Pause. You're thinking about it, bro.
See, I don't want to answer from a no. I can't take drug money.
This is that CID
perspective.
question, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Let's put it like this, right? Let me make it easier
love
for you
you.
guys. So,
But I will launch my campaign.
so you
There will
guys,
be
By
signs.
hook or by crook.
you guys remember Narcos, right? The quote, it was plomo or porto? Plata or plomo. Yeah? Bullet or? Something like that, right? Yeah, bullet or silver. So it's either you're taking this money or
You're taking a
bullet. Yeah. So say for instance, lead or silver, right? Lead or silver. Yeah, so lead the bullet,
Yeah.
right? If now, what is my guy Pablo comes is like, yo, I'm tired of killing people, bro. I need to actually hit the market, and I need a good marketing strategy to get my cocaine
Out there.
out there.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
No,
yeah, you gotta approach
send me
it
a
from.
deck.
Send me a deck. Like, that's a different way.
That's
so,
different.
how are you not gonna if he tells you that?
No.
You won't.
What if he pays you for
I
the
love
deck?
the way you're asking me.
No, yeah, it's true. Shinski and you.
Bro, you do decks, no?
Okay, I do a lot of decks, right?
So yeah, Mr. Pablo is here like, hey yo, bro, come on, man.
No, he says his current problem is I've been killing too many people. So here's the thing. There's
You
a
don't live
crime
with that
constant.
I prefer Andy's version. Andy's version of the money being washed. I'm coming from a clean source. My conscience might allow, but you coming to me and saying I've been killing too many people. I can't.
You can't lead with that.
No. No, you guys are looking at it from a
Yes,
very
but not
no.
so
You're
loud
looking at it
on
from
the
a very
house.
simplistic perspective. Look at it. Remember, Pablo blew up a plane because he needed some guy who was about to whatever. So now think about it from now when you even go tell your padre a confession in the booth. You're like, is it called in the booth? What's it called?
It's confession.
Confession booth.
The Catholic Church should have turned it into the cockpit, if you get what I mean.
I hear you, man. Now you see? Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking, yeah. Now you're cooking, yeah. No, cockpit is wild. That's nasty work. I love it.
Foul.
The shooter.
That's foul.
For what was being
Is that this point?
They had one chance, bro.
Is at this point when we say, you know, by the way, the views expressed on this podcast belong to whoever said it. Yeah? But yeah, but you know, now that you mentioned the confession box, right?
Yeah.
Is any of you guys? It's the confession box.
Yeah.
Any of you
Damn
guys
it.
Catholic in here?
Yeah.
No, they'll deny or
Okay. So, have you ever been in the confession booth?
Yes.
Tell me how.
now if you used cockpit, it would have been fun. Have you been to the
It
cockpit?
fascinates me. So, like, is it like a weekly thing, or you just go when you feel like?
Okay, so nowadays I don't practice as much. But Kitambo, when I used to, you just go to the. It's either we try to do it. We do it the most when Easter comes in. The Wednesday,
Lent and all
the
that.
Lent,
Yeah.
The 40 days you have to go, you go and confess every week.
So, like, literally, so paint me a picture. Is it really like in the movies? It's like a booth, and you can't see the pastor can't see you.
Yes.
It's really like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a slider thing that can you can see the pastor, but it's kind of like there's a curtain or something, so you can't really see them. And so you get inside and you tell them, okay, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My last confession was this date, and this is what I've done, blah, blah,
And
blah,
you actually say what
ABCD.
you've done.
You try to be as truthful as you can.
No face, no case, bro.
That's what. And then what does the father say?
How many Hail Marys?
Yeah, so it gives you a list of prayers. It just gives you a small sermon from the Bible. Is like, God forgives you. I can't remember the exact name.
Yeah.
Then it gives a list of prayers you have to say. So after then he prays for you. Then after the confession, you go back to the church and you do your Hail Marys, your Our Fathers, and all that stuff.
Damn, that's a lot
And then
of
you-
work. Bro, imagine the tea session the fathers are having at the back of the church. Imagine.
Yo, Shinski was just here. You know,
But you don't say your name, bro.
Yeah.
You don't say
No, technically, no.
I don't think so.
But also, have they been like padres who've snitched?
I'm sure.
Yeah, like in Mexico, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I honestly, I think that's where, like, how many Catholic churches do you think they're there in the US? A lot, of course,
Many,
right?
many, of course.
But how many gangs have infiltrated that? Or would it be considered snitching if you're like a die-hard thug and you go to the padre and confess? Like, man, this week I sold crack at the corner to like, you know,
Wait, does the padre give you like life advice or something? Like, does he throw in nuggets over there, like maybe try this or
the
blah, blah,
Catholic
blah?
church is pretty dope.
Oh,
I can't remember if they did. It was more just giving you a scripture from the Bible.
Okay.
They don't judge.
They don't want to advise you, I think.
Oh, that's the original. We listen, but we don't judge. Yeah.
Crazy,
Okay.
man. I don't know. I find it fascinating because I feel like it requires such a level of like religious integrity and honesty.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
half the stuff, like even I think that's why for a lot of people therapy doesn't work, because they go to the therapist and only tell them like 50% of the stuff that's actually bothering them.
Yeah. But speaking about
Really?
the Catholic Church, right? You saw that last week they said that they're allowing gay men to actually be a part of like priesthood.
Really?
But all they have to do is actually stay celibate.
Isn't that a constant?
Staying celibate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that a
Yeah,
constant?
it's a
That's-
constant.
Nuns.
Even for straight, they have to be celibate.
Yeah.
Well-
Your sexual orientation has.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
And me, I can put it out there. You know, like how priests
Hey.
were confessing to them. Me, I want a priest to write a book. Like you know, those guys who've left priesthood. I want to know whether these guys are really not sleeping with these nuns.
Well, here's the thing. Not the nuns. Not the nuns, Calvin.
No,
No, but valid.
no, none of those.
valid.
You want to
So-
tell me none of those nuns
so
are
facts.
eating? They're not eating none.
Facts, I can tell you. Oh man, now I get none. So I can tell you for a fact.
Breaking bread and shit.
in Jamaica when I was growing up, there was a famous Catholic priest who was a priest in a very hardcore area of the city. And one of my brethren was like heavily involved in the church, like altar boy or whatever. And he was like, yo, priest is smashing these chicks left, right, and center.
Exactly.
So I'm sure that there's
There's
an
a gang of
exception.
them. Yeah.
There's an exception to every vow
Rule.
of celibacy. You know what I mean? I mean, how often have you vowed celibacy and you've just been out there tearing up the streets? So let's move on.
No, let's not. Let's not.
No. But,
Oh, Biggie. Since when?
Nigga.
but you know,
Fisherman.
But
Whatever, man.
you know, this concept of celibacy is a bit. I need to
It's a
understand
scam.
it. I'm going to ask one of our very good listeners. The son is actually in Rome. He's in 5th year. He's studying Catholic, whatever. You know, Jerry, who used to listen to us at Homeboys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The son.
Really?
Yeah.
Is in Rome studying?
Rome.
Yeah,
she was
good
just
for
actually
him.
in December. She was there to see him.
for
He's in
him.
5th year now.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's
That's fine.
going through that, right? And I can tell because he went straight from high school into all of that. Like he's
Theology, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
because it's masters and all of that. But my thing is this, right? I'm being told to stay away from celibacy, especially from a gay perspective. How am I going to know I'm gay if I've not tasted this? You know, like
Should I call you mister?
no, 'cause- no. No, it's a real question, right? Because the
That's a
orientation,
risky one.
you're born knowing that, hey, I've got all of the machinery working. But I've got to know, hey, listen, I like men in this degree and I've got to practice it.
That's how you know, man.
No,
I'm sorry
yeah, I've
to
got
be
to
the
know.
bearer
Like for
of
me, I know I like girls. You get? So for this whole priesthood thing, for them, you're told, be celibate. But as a gay man, if you've not experimented,
But isn't
like
the-
what?
But how are you gay if you've not experimented?
That's the thing.
So you can't call
what I'm
yourself
saying,
gay,
what I've been
Calvin.
told,
Wait,
a vow of celibacy.
Wait, I think it comes down-
You've skipped a part.
You've skipped a part.
Yeah.
Is that celibacy from birth? Like, as in, when someone is like,
That's the thing,
can I
that's the question.
Can I be on road?
Google that.
Wait, can I be on road and then decide I'm going to be a priest?
Yes.
It's something that you've done you've left school and gone straight to theology.
Let me ask you
Both.
this. Let me ask you
You
this.
can?
I think both.
No. Let me
don't-
ask you
inconfidence
this.
is-
It's like your born attire. Your one job is to be on the road. Like you've just been revolving on the tarmac.
But this
How are you
is-
going to stop and never be
But
on the
this
road?
is what I'm saying.
It's the same
I
thing.
think
what I'm
there can
saying.
be different entry points. I don't think they pause. I don't think there's one particular pun intended.
Evidently.
Yo,
Right?
just get like
Listen,
an abridged version of this shit.
No. Clerical. Go back. Clerical celibacy in the Catholic Church
Well, it's such
is a
that-
discipline within the Catholic Church by which only unmarried men are ordained to the episcopate. So basically, unmarried men.
It doesn't say
It
virgins.
doesn't say. Yeah.
Unmarried.
So the vow of celibacy is just for the girl.
Moving on.
No.
It's moving on.
forward.
No.
You swear celibacy
but
moving forward.
at the whatever.
Hold on, more. Hold on. It says the requirement of celibacy is not dogma. It's an ecclesiastic. Because Rome was worried the cleric's children would inherit church property. and
create dynasties.
So basically, it's not even based on. It's not even based on religion.
Yeah.
It's based on you got to be celibate so that your kids can't come and inherit. That is
Selfish as
wild.
fuck.
That's selfish.
Yeah. I told
I'm
you,
glad
bro.
we go to the
So
bottom
wait a
of
minute.
this.
The vow of celibacy has got nothing to do with
Yeah,
the
bro.
church. It's all about not wanting
Ownership.
That's wild.
Look at those. Ordination of bastards. My God.
That's
It
wild.
sounds wild, bro.
The Latin Church imposed a ban on the ordination of bastards. That
This shit is
this
wild.
is deep.
That's
Wow.
what she said.
Which permitted married men to be ordained to priesthood, with the exception of the Ethiopian.
Unmarried.
Unmarried. Yeah, celibacy is unmarried. The original meaning.
Even though the married may observe abstinence from sexual. So
Yo,
basically,
in this context, look at that.
So that's the question I wanted to ask.
Abstinence.
What's the difference between abstinence and celibacy?
right? So there you go. Abstinence is like, I'm not having any more sex. Celibacy.
Brilliant.
What is
Look
this?
at this. In this
Perfect and
context,
perpetual
the word celibacy.
continence.
Hold on, Andy. In this word, right? In this context, the word celibacy retains its original meaning of
Unmarried.
quote unquote unmarried, right?
Yeah.
Though even the married may observe abstinence from sexual intercourse. The
Yes.
obligation to be celibate is seen as a consequence of the obligation to observe perfect and perpetual continence for the sake of the kingdom of heaven.
For the sake of the kingdom of heaven.
So, sexual intercourse. So these guys can get head.
Jesus.
that is sexual intercourse.
No, it's not.
It's bro.
It's not.
Define sexual.
Fucking
Google
sexual intercourse. It's not.
Sexual intercourse.
Head is not sexual intercourse.
Fellatio,
Sexual.
cunnilingus.
No. What is sexual intercourse? Bro, head is not, bro.
Well,
No, these guys can even wank. That's what I'm trying to say.
Fine. Let-
bro.
let Google
Your
be the
favorite
deciding
padre.
factor.
Aye, come on.
Jesus, I don't even hear no more of this.
Foreplay is included. See, yeah, foreplay. Yeah,
Hold up. What is sexual intercourse? Foreplay, sexual activities that lead to
equal. There you
Good
go.
job.
That's it.
Orgasm known as So head.
sperm transfer. The act of sperm cells. Sexual intercourse. So
Sex is
so
just part
AI
of the
is-
sexual
however,
intercourse.
However-
AI is considered as sex. Artificial insemination for
However, if you want to go from a legal perspective, if you want to think about the impeachment of Bill Clinton, and where he maintained, I did not have sexual relations
True
with
that.
woman.
Exactly.
She gave me head, but I didn't have sexual relations.
Monica Lewinsky.
Monica Lewinsky. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
You've learned something. Hence why when the mics are open,
What did you learn?
we're big-headed.
What did you learn to? Oh my God.
So, I've lost it.
That was wild, though.
That was wild.
Now we
That
can
was
move on
interesting.
from the church to something else. Yeah.
Did you see all these signboards in downtown in the city in
Yeah.
CBD being destroyed by, or rather removed by the city council?
The Kanjo guy. First and foremost, right?
When's the last time you walked in town? I think I've walked in town more recently than you.
There's one night I was coming from Westlands and I was craving Sanford.
So you went to town.
So I parked Sanford, I ate, then I drove.
How long ago was this night in question?
December.
When's the last time you walked in town?
Man, I don't remember.
But this is Tomboya.
Wait. I'm going somewhere. When's the last time you walked in town? You, every day.
You walk in town.
Every day. Today, yeah? When's the last time you walked in town?
Last year, January last year, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last time I was in town was a few months ago. I went to EA Mobitech, right? Now, do you know what? I saw them removing all of those. So you know when you walk on especially Moy Avenue, you got all of these shops with their billboards hanging down. There's no uniformity. It just looks a mess.
The competition.
I could understand why the governor would want to have them removed. Because if you're a tall guy, especially on the side of the road that's going towards the roundabout, yeah. Some of those signs are low.
Yeah.
So there's even times when, if you're tall, you be ducking those signs.
Yeah.
So I understand. I understand why you want to remove them. Why?
For the 12 niggas,
For the
that's
tall-
a small percentage of the population of niggas walking in town, bro.
That's not where I was going. That's not
No,
where I
I'm
was
just
going.
kidding, I'm
No, I
kidding.
could understand why you'd remove them, but you know what I can never understand? Why do we have to do everything so theatrically? Couldn't you have just said to the store guys?
Wait, what do you mean you understand this? Are you okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
No,
Why?
guys, allow me to unpack this for you guys, right? So first and foremost, if you're doing a sign anywhere in this here county or even any county,
You gotta pay to put it up.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
costs
there's
money.
bylaws that
Govern.
Exactly. So you got to go the correct way. The measurements, the sign, it says this is going to cost you X. It's going to do this. No paper ones, neon lights and whatever, right? You get permission. So one thing, the county is losing revenue.
Mad.
Right? From that. Because guys have just been doing it helter-skelter.
Right.
Number two, what you've just said, you're trying to walk down Moy Avenue.
Yeah.
This is the path. Bro, you're ducking like this. Someone can even call you and to ask you, uko wapi? You're like, songa kando niko wapi? You know.
That's how you know Simse wa town, bro.
No, but I'm just saying,
Easy.
honestly,
Man.
I know people are going to judge me and say, yeah, look at him with his stick up his ass and all of this shit. But I'm telling you this, right? Let's have some order, man. Like, you don't see this shit in Cape Town.
Wow, now hold up, nigga. Now wait. You can't just jump from Nairobi to
That's
Cape
why I
Town.
said. That's why I said a stick up my ass, because it was from a privileged perspective, right? But I'm there for it. Let's have some order.
But you're not even walking downtown through this
Nigga,
place.
who gives
you're
a fuck? I'm fucking.
Yo, it
What is
doesn't
your problem?
count. It
Can't
doesn't
I
count.
express myself without you saying I don't even walk in town? See, I pay taxes in this city.
The same way I'm allowing you to express yourself, I can express myself the
So
same way.
you want all of these signs to be everywhere?
Yes. Because, bro, you know why? Let me tell you why. Us guys who've been... I used to pass through town like on a daily. And there's so many businesses in town that maybe everybody needs to visit. But there's too many of them, right? So we have marked Nairobi and we have learnt these places through these signboards. So once you remove it, I'm not confused which building is it. And you know, all buildings rather downtown, zimeshikana. It's block. So it's sometimes not easy for you to distinguish one building from the next. The only thing that can make you understand this is where I'm supposed to go to is that bigger sign. So once you remove it, now we're in town bumping into one another.
Bro.
Oh, security. Ebu hazina ilikuwa wapi ama bro.
Listen,
Okay.
there's so many ways to do this, right? First and foremost, when you go to that one particular barbershop in town, you know where it is. You don't need to be guided. If a guy calls you and tells you, there's so many ways of marketing nowadays.
Yeah.
A lot of people go on Instagram. Some of these shops are half physical, digital nowadays.
Yeah.
You can buy a pair of pants without even having to whatever.
Yeah.
You get. The guy can ask you, Kwapi, they're happy to deliver. You get.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this, right? I understand it served its purpose. And I'm not beating down anyone for this. But guys, it's gotten to a point where it's too untidy.
No, so here's the thing, and I see both sides of your stories, right? My issue,
I don't need your support, by the way.
I'm not supporting you.
Yeah, just go on.
Are you on the fence with your sore ass?
Listen, splinters in the bum. Listen, the thing is, right? It looks very untidy.
Yes.
With all the signs all over the place, right? And there's no symmetry, there's no organization. So I can understand why you'd remove them, right? But what I'm trying to say is, if we have a bit more order, we can have the signage in their correct way. The problem is not the signs. The problem is how the laws have not been implemented. And now the government, or the city government, I feel they should have said, listen, it's like these registration plates on your car, right?
Yeah.
They're saying by a particular date you have to have the new plates, right?
Yeah.
It's a phased out approach. Be fucking the person goes, I'm now telling all shop owners that by this date, they have to have all of this stuff in compliance.
Yeah.
Or we'll remove them.
It's a rollout.
But this thing when you wake up in the morning and yo, town, then you see today, when you walk in town today, all these wires are hanging out all over the place where the signs used to be. It looks worse than it looked with the signs.
Yeah, deal with that now.
So that people can
What?
follow the law.
Well, my question is, before you put a sign, do they have to, as a shop owner, do you have to go there
Yes.
and pay to get the sign approved?
Exactly.
So and then why are they coming back and then say, okay, now we're going to take
Right?
over?
No. So
that's gaslighting.
So what people did is this, right? People found a way to ignore that, right?
Oh, okay.
So there's a correction in which, like I said, like say for instance, let me even use an example. Say Afrobeats and dancehall versus dancehall. If we ever wanted to advertise in town and we're giving people those, what do they call pamphlets?
Flyers.
Yeah, flyers, right?
We have to pay
We have to
stamp.
pay Kanjo for the stamp. Even if you have 1 million of them, Kanjo has to stamp each and every one of them.
Yeah.
Yes? So it's the same way. Signage, even if you see those street poles in town, same thing. If you have a billboard, same thing. It's all like that, right? So now it's gotten to a point where, like I said, there's loss of revenue, it's untidy, and all of you guys are saying we need to make Nairobi work, right?
Yeah.
A garbage, just the impression of how
Drainage.
Nairobi looks.
Yeah.
So let's go at it from every way. Because if you look at how this whole cleanup of Nairobi has happened, even the president spoke about it this week when he was in Lenana School. He said, and you saw what do you call it? Sakaja last week handing over 27 new trucks. You saw for this whole garbage collection. They're cleaning up the streets each and every single day. Like, we have to start getting into that. The hawkers, as of last week, have been told they have to be in the back streets. You can't be on Tomboya. It had gotten to a point, and I respect. There's a lot of people who are being fed by the hawkers. People are paying fees off of that.
Yeah.
But it has to get to a point where I'm a shop owner. I'm paying some crazy rent, but there's a hawker right outside my store. People can't even navigate. Like,
Yeah.
when we're asking each other, when's the last time you went to town? Because guys are just like, yo, that headache,
Yeah,
I don't want to deal with
Yeah,
it.
true.
So you have to look at it from the perspective of, hey, we're saying, let's make Nairobi work again. How are we
Yeah.
going to do it? And also the thing about Kenyans is this. When you tell them at the phased approach, for who? Kenyans are difficult. At times you just got to do it. And everybody figures a way. Because this whole please take down your signboards. Please. And I'm sure there was probably communication. And like the
Yeah,
same
true,
way
'cause you don't know.
when now the hawkers have been told, go to the back streets, they've been communicating this for a while. Guys have been told, stop being here, stop being here. There's even a video with, what's my guy? Joffrey. He found a lady seated outside Chicken Inn. And he's like, listen, tumetenga, well, I can't use tumetenga. I don't be speaking that same.
Wow.
We've given you
Tumetenga
guys,
sehemu maalum.
we've given you guys a space in the back street. And this is how you're going to do it. So systems have to be put in place.
By the
Kumbe
way,
nakuanga na mapoint manze. Hapo sawa.
good point. We'll give you that one. By the way, did you guys see that? What's this lady's name? Is it Eliachi?
Beatrice.
Beatrice Eliachi. How she said that, like, for those who don't like what the government or what the president's doing, they can leave. How do you guys feel about that?
She didn't even qualify to be, what do you call it? Governor of Nairobi.
No. So,
No, see, she's spoken smack. See, let me speak smack about her.
okay, go ahead.
Cook boy.
I'm kidding though.
Floor is yours.
But this, honestly though, these politicians are coming for us a bit too much. You know what? Since we're speaking about that, Beatrice Elashi,
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
I want to say, where's my camera? I want to say a big shout out to Pastor, my guy by Railways.
Nganga.
Nganga is a don. By the way, here's the thing.
Commander in chief.
I think on this podcast we have to get Nganga.
We have to.
We have to.
Guys.
Listen.
have to.
I know, let's,
Yo,
I know we're
let's,
not that kind of podcast, but
Nganga is the one. I watched two clips this
we need
week.
okay for this meeting.
I watched two clips this week.
Yeah.
Pastor Nganga has brought the congregation to the front. And he's like, hey, I've got some new perfume.
Yeah.
He's speaking in Swahili.
Yeah.
That we bought it. I was with my wife.
Yeah.
And they said to my wife, when you're on the third floor, you'll be smelling this nigga. Then he tells the congregation, ilikuwa 78,000.
Yeah.
You're looking at those women like, they're looking at this guy. And he's flossing on them.
Na bado watatoa
She's like, ng'ombe nyinyi. You should be using money at times. Bro, that's number one. Number two, when he was talking about Oscar Sudi.
Nimeona Sudi akisema ati kama ni yeye angeandikwa angeua watoto, siue mama yako, umbwa wewe, takataka, you are killers. You are, sipeleke mtoto kotini, sipeleke mtu kotini. Naona jana wanashambulia ati mpaka na mapasa. There is nowhere. Kotini kuna mada na kuna life. Jaji ndiye ataamua hii kesi, sio nyinyi mtaamua mkidinap. Ukiona mnaongea hivi mnajua. Ukiona mnaongea hivi mnajua kule watoto wanaenda. Don't bring nonsense.
My guy said, umbwa wewe in chat.
Wow.
Yo, he's so crude. It's amazing.
but like
Because he was speaking about abduction, sorry. And he was like, hey, unasema nini about children? Umbwa wewe. Yo.
he's in church.
I had the communications authority usually sends him a bunch of letters. Because it's a public broadcast. So some of these things can be flagrant, especially if you're coming for public figures. But it's to show the general like feeling that we're tired, bro. Like if these conversations he's an exception because there's no other pastor or man of God who approaches things like Mainanganga. But generally, I like seeing these things happening, when politicians are exposing themselves, because now it's not what's going on behind the scenes. No, like, this is what you guys are thinking. This is how you guys look at things. Now we know. The Sudis and the Beatrices, and these are the people that guys have put in office to represent them. So if this doesn't represent who we are, and you're looking back at the very same people who put you in office, talking to us and telling us, if you have a problem, leave. Kama kuna shida, nenda, So it's a good thing that Kenyans get to see exactly who you're dealing with.
I feel the thing with the issue I have with the Elachi statement is that you can't really complain if the people you're governing are saying that we're not getting the services. You can't turn around and say to me, if I don't get what I want, then then leave. If the food here is not good enough for you,
it's like fuck off.
Then leave.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Calvin about it, and I said, there's a parallel, and I'll give you the parallel. In the 70s, in the late 70s, right?
All right.
Jamaica had a prime minister called Michael Manley, who's one of my personal heroes, right? But during the whole, Cold War era, he sided more with the Soviet Union, right? And everyone was scared that Jamaica was going to become a communist state. He made a very famous speech, and he said, for those of you who don't like my policies, there are 5 flights a day to Miami.
Oh, wow.
Right? This is the prime minister.
We spoke about that.
We spoke about it. You know what? He lost the following election by a landslide. And the opposition harped on the fact to say, this guy was telling Jamaicans at the height of his hubris, if you don't like what I'm doing,
the height of
hubris.
Hubris.
Come on,
No,
man.
come on.
You're looking it up, right?
No.
Oh, you know that one?
Yeah, I know.
Or you only Peter
Last week I used the word that these guys struggled with. So, is hubris okay?
Hubris is
Hubris,
the
kisana mani na
things that
maanisha
kill
nini?
men. Hubris, women, and alcohol.
Of his pride.
So you've
know?
used the same word to what?
There we go. He's gonna put it on the screen.
Oh,
Is this gonna become a thing every week where
yes.
I use a word and then we have to hubris?
If you use big
What's
words.
this? Excessive
pride
or self-confidence?
self-confidence.
Context.
This is how your essays used to look like, bro.
My essay,
God
by the
damn.
way, I told you I passed English a year early.
Okay,
There's a statement that Oscar Sudi made last week, right?
Oh, sorry, I stepped on your feet.
And he was saying, in short, he was telling guys, who do you think you are? And this is very, I say this loosely, but there's a part in the speech that he made where he said, this is our country.
Yeah, pretty
And
much,
guys were like, bro,
yeah. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
who are we?
The height of that pride is what gets you out, because the opposition in Jamaica used that in their campaign in 1980. This is the guy who told you, if you don't like what we're doing here, there are 5 flights a day to go. So I kind of feel like I've never actually seen political statements and rhetoric and crazy statements like we're having now. It wasn't there in the Kibaki era. It wasn't there in the early part of the Uhurutu era. It's just wild.
Everybody is bold
let me
right
ask
now.
you,
Everybody.
Do you think? I have a feeling. I might be wrong about this, but I feel like after COVID, especially. No, even before COVID, especially when Trump came in, I think he changed the political landscape for
I agree 100%.
the whole world.
I agree 100%. I agree with you, because
Yeah.
Trump came in wild,
Yeah.
saying the wildest things.
So other countries are picking up from that. Like, okay, well,
But Trump was the guy who said that all these shithole countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That could be
that
it.
was fire. No, I mean, well, no, literally. yeah. But you get
One
what I mean.
unintended.
But I'm telling you, nowadays, bro, these politicians be saying a lot. Like right now, I'm looking at Esther Passaris, right? So Esther Passaris posted up a thing. Let me get you guys the original post, right? So the original post was Esther posting about how. Let me actually just pull it. There's a post. So someone replied to Esther's post, right, yesterday. And Esther says, congratulations to these 16 exceptional young engineers as they set off to Greece to pursue their dreams. Thanks to Mhandisi Maju program, and the support of the ambassador H.E. George, whatever. You're at the brink of an exciting new chapter. And she's speaking about the girls. So she's posted up a picture with the ladies. Very good picture, right? Like you guys can see, right? Then someone replied to her, dressed decently for once, kudos. And she's dressed very well. Yo, she replied with this picture of her
Oh, wow.
in gym wear.
Wow.
Hebu nitumie.
Yo, in gym wear.
Wow.
You get?
It's hard to see from here.
Fam, it says hashtag my dress, my choice. Hashtag fit at 60. Hashtag get a grip. Hashtag resolution number 5 dance for fun.
Wow.
Yo, this baby 60, bruh.
Okay.
Is your problem that she's 60 or
No.
I see Calvin's type.
No.
I see Calvin's type.
No.
Kelis, you know,
Kelis.
Esther Passaris.
She's going at Kelis, man.
I see you, man. I see
Yeah, she posted up Timon and Pumbaa yesterday. Yeah,
This
so
guy's obsessed with Khalees.
no, but you know, by this, since let
Oh
me
my
stick
God.
let me stick whatever in that.
Appian.
Yeah, right.
I wanted to stick
On this
something
whole
else.
TikTok story, I don't know who went and reported my post about Kelis.
Oh, really?
who?
It got struck off?
It got struck off, man. They even gave me a warning.
TikTok is stricter than these other platforms, though.
Yeah, like I felt so bad. I was like, all I said is I want.
Anyway, before we wrap up, just
But this was after we'd got into. Anyway,
damn, Trisha.
I'd be saying some shit. I could get cancelled for that.
Yes.
Yeah, block
Before.
that shit.
Yeah.
Block that, yeah.
As we wrap up, just something light. Rose dropped the Gen Z and alcohol stats in the group, how it's a fading bond with Gen Zs, and how Gen Zs compared to millennials, Gen X, and boomers are having the least or consuming the least amount of alcohol. So I don't know if this is and this was in the US, not
But
on this side.
I agree. You know why?
Why?
More drugs, bruv.
Pass the that chip on it.
More drugs, less alcohol.
Oh, I call them. I've got a new term for
drug?
them. No.
Good one.
No. I've got because you know there's quite a there's a selection of drugs out here, right? You know, like how you go for buffet, lunch, and it's a la carte. So this new fancy ass drugs, I call them avant-garde drugs.
Avant-garde drugs, okay.
Yeah, like the very.
Such as?
What do you want me to name drugs?
No, I'm
So
just
to
saying,
understand what you're
I'm
saying.
No. Like there's Molly,
Okay.
there's acid,
Perspet, all those
Percocet. There's is cough syrup still a thing?
I don't.
I don't know.
Cough syrup was lit. Like
Was
I
it?
remember,
Is that a small?
bro. No, well, but then for the benefit of it, me, I've never stuck no needle in me. I've never inhaled nothing.
Codeine.
I did weed in
School, like everyone.
in uni, but I was just like, yo, weed is not a drug.
Wow. Doing weed while doing theology. Bruh.
Then,
I love it.
then
Bana.
I'm
Ile story ya burning bush ulikuwa unaicheki live,
He
man.
did theology.
Imagine.
I'm stuck at alcohol. I'm stuck at alcohol. That's my only thing. But now here's the thing. I can see why there's all of those different that survey says that.
Yeah.
It's actually true. And this is why, like, I think I was having a conversation with someone and we were talking about like some of these events. If you're running a bar and you don't charge entrance,
You're finished.
you're finished.
Because a lot, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. A lot of the youngers are into pills. Like it's actually a thing. Like I know, like even a couple people who I know who are in that space age wise, them man they never talk about.
I'm
Being high.
Zinga like this.
Nah, it's like,
They've
I was-
never hit the bottom
yeah,
of Zinga.
they talk about this. They
They've
were
never
high.
spunked it.
Fam, I was at bar next door, and I'm not gonna mention any names. I was at bar next door, Campbell Road, a couple of weeks ago, and I'll say one of my friends came through, and I'm telling you the truth. I don't know what that nigga was on, but he danced to like
It was on something.
it was on something. I
think-
was like,
Yeah.
okay. Like it's the first time I'm seeing him in like a club environment. I'm like, this nigga be dancing all
And
night.
usually maybe
so
regular.
chill and so laid back. It was so laid back.
He was on what, H2O alone?
I don't know what he was on, but he's on something.
No, but he must have been hydrating though.
But he was with his pals in the club next door, and then he came over because
came,
me and
okay.
Grouchy and them were playing.
Also,
But
he
whatever-
left the club next door to come to bar next door.
I love it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I
know,
do
right?
I do stand corrected, but it feels like, I don't know, maybe liquor seems or alcohol seems like a low frequency drug.
Oh,
You drink, by the way.
Occasionally, yeah.
I will not stand for that.
I again I
How
said
can you say
I stand corrected.
low
I don't take
frequency?
alcohol. Yeah, I think it's Byron. Do you
Have
understand
you
what I'm
watched
saying?
that
Am I-
movie?
Hold on. Let's
Is it making sense? Am I right?
wait. Hold on.
What do you mean by low frequency?
Low frequency, I mean the effects where it gets you afterwards, where it has you, the highs and the lows. So I think mainly for alcohol, from what I've observed, it's mainly low frequency. You know, yeah, you'll get to loosen up a bit, you know, open up, maybe do some things you wouldn't normally do if you're
Yeah.
not inebriated. But then look at the difference between someone who is drunk and someone who is high on something else. And tell me that the frequencies are the same. And again, I'm also factoring in the fact that bodies respond differently to different substances. Someone could take something that's a depressant and it's like a stimulant to them, and they act differently, and vice versa. So I'm factoring that in. But from my perspective as an observer, not a consumer, this is me as an observer, that seems to be the case. Low
Cool.
frequency. Yeah.
Now,
Or low vibration.
yeah. So me, I'm on the defense of alcohol,
Go you.
right?
Public
Brand ambassador.
Public, yeah. So
Yeah.
alcohol is a depressant, right? So it slows down the brain activity and affects the balance of neurons in the brain, neurotransmitters, right? So now here's the explanation. So alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. You already know that, right? So it slows down the messages traveling between the brain and the body.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is this, right? What the fuck?
My nigga
No,
said,
like,
just put the fries in the bag, bro.
No. I'm
Get to
getting,
the point.
I'm getting somewhere. I'm a very
get to the
expensive
point.
lawyer.
Go on.
All I'm
We're
saying
all
is
at
this.
alcohol, so we get it.
You
That's what
stepped
I'm
on this
saying.
shit, bro.
Well, here's the thing. I was about to ask you, do you think you've drank more than I have?
No, I haven't.
Was that going to be the payoff? Okay.
No, that was not going to be the payoff. But all I'm saying is this, right? I will say this. Alcohol and all of those drugs, right? There'll be the effects if consumed a lot. Alcohol is legal for a reason. Those drugs are not. It's a controlled substance.
Is it legal because it's business?
Yes, it's a business, but you see, here's the thing, right? So alcohol,
Look at weed.
Yeah.
The minute weed became a business that governments could profit from, countries around the world legalized it.
but here's the thing. It's taken time. There's been a study that's been shown. Okay, cool. We can use weed for just getting high, but on top of that,
We can
it's
do
good
medicinal.
as medicine,
I
hemp,
get it. but think
recreation.
about
all
it.
of that,
But
right?
alcohol was the first drug, isn't it? Like if you think about it, like
Was it?
no. All right. So all right,
Remember, what was my guy, the Chinese guy who was killing people?
who,
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, right?
Maybe he was chewing whatever.
He
right?
was on
Mira,
probably some of that.
alikuwa
What is
jaba
it called?
But the
Is
point
it
I'm making
opium? I think it's opium.
Yeah,
Exactly.
opium. But
Yeah.
the point I'm making is, like, alcohol is a business. So and was one of the first businesses of creative recreational drugs, right?
But what industry has more money, alcohol or cocaine?
I don't know. But what I will say, I'd probably say alcohol.
I was watching something the other day, right?
Google that.
Right?
Which drug is most lucrative?
Right, I was watching an interesting show the other day. It's called Landman, right? So it's you watch it, right? Have you been
Oh, yeah.
watching it? So it's guys in the oil business, right? So they're in a part of Texas where they're they're fighting each other with the cartels. And the cartel guy tells the guy, I've been looking at your oil business. And the oil business, because of like EV,
Cocaine and heroin.
But this is illicit drugs. Let's finish one thought at a time.
that's what what we said.
No, we're talking about but we can't compare.
Okay, hold
alcohol
on.
and
Let's slow
drug.
down. Let's slow down.
All right.
At what point can we tackle first?
Stop. There's a lot happening.
Break
All
it down,
Let's
break it
go back
down.
to the beginning, right? You talk about you are on defense of alcohol, right?
Yes.
As opposed to other types of drugs.
No, I
Yes.
think he said alcohol is a low frequency
Low
drug.
frequency.
Yeah, low vibration.
I
He's
didn't like
saying-
the
he's
term
saying
low
no.
frequency.
Right.
I
So
felt
that-
very
that was the
I've
offensive.
main
moved from
conflict, yeah.
frequency to low
Right, okay.
vibration.
No,
I'm
'cause
saying it's low vibration now.
Yeah.
And also, you could also argue that the return that you get from alcohol is worse than the return you get from cocaine. Huh? Yes. So, for example, like
Bro,
coke,
people
right?
sell furniture for cocaine.
Bro, no,
You
no,
don't
they
even have shit to sit on.
They don't, though.
Hey.
But they really don't. They don't. Coke.
I mean-
if it's crack, yes. But
Bro,
cocaine,
even
no.
cocaine, yes.
Fam.
Could think
Listen.
of you.
Cocaine is addictive. I get it, right?
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, if you think about like, even alcohol is the biggest killer of people, like drug killer of people in the world.
Yeah. True.
More people die from alcohol than they die from cocaine. Facts.
Yeah.
Good. Google this shit.
No.
He don't believe you now.
Hey, no,
I'm
there's
telling you,
banana.
He doesn't know you're valedictorian.
No.
Because the thing about it is, it's
Yeah, I
like-
can see that obviously because it's a legal substance.
Because it's
The
exactly.
access is there for sure. I mean, you can go there as long as you're the legal drinking age. You can access it, right?
But
yeah,
and by extension, drunk driving.
exactly.
All of that stuff.
All of
I have
those.
a caveat. Is something or is a substance more lucrative when it becomes illegal?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Because they tried that with alcohol.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
they saw what
prohibition
happened.
era.
See, it says alcohol is not only more harmful to the individual, but
Just
also
read the
harmful.
fucking first title.
Okay, alcohol kills more people than all other drugs combined.
Simple.
Combined.
Yes.
Combined.
Yeah.
Those are crazy numbers, bro.
I know.
These are Grammy
But anyway,
numbers.
all I'm trying to say is this: there has to be a protagonist, and
An antagonist.
No. But what I'm saying
So you're the protagonist in this case.
no, all I'm saying is this, right?
Yeah.
If you're drinking alcohol, please adhere to the DMC, or please don't be out here doing this crazy.
See,
ass
now you're trying to be politically correct. Let's go backwards. As a DJ,
Yes.
right? During December, I tried to have a dry December for the first time, right? And I can honestly side with Andy on this one. I found December this year, I was very busy, but I found it to be a breeze because I didn't wake up hungover. At previous Decembers, by the time it gets to like around the 19th, I am done.
So
Because there's
better.
so many gigs back. And then even there was one, I remember it was a Thursday in December where a pal of mine had come from Kakamega. And I hadn't drank the entire month. And we opened a bottle of whiskey. The next day was a rumor for me. And I had gigs and I was sluggish. And it made me think to myself, even from a DJing perspective, if I'm going to be busy as Shinski, if I want to be as busy as Shinski, I can't drink when I'm DJing. I can't go to the clubs and be doing what I used to be doing and going home and it's not sustainable. How do you feel about that?
I feel the same way. Like, ideally, you're supposed to go to work sober. But for me, I feel like sometimes people can get annoying.
So you need a little sauce
A
in the
little
system.
sauce.
Yeah.
But that's usually when you're finished DJing, right?
Yeah. No, I'm not blaming people
Yeah.
for that. I'm just saying, like,
No, I
the whole
blame them.
club
Yes.
scenery, for you to get to that level of where everybody else is, sometimes
You have to
you need
have
like a shot or something. Especially someone like me, I for me to talk on a mic, I'm like,
So that's what we should have. Instead
Yeah.
of coffee, we'd have brought some liquor, a couple of shots in the system. That's what you're saying.
No, I
well,
get it though.
over here is fine.
Okay.
But imagine going the stage and speaking to 300 people, and then you have to be hype. You have to be like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so
And it's not your default.
it's
setting.
not my default setting. So I can get why also some artists they smoke weed or they do all this.
Man.
I understand why it's there, but I don't condone it to be like that's a go-to thing.
I
So
get it.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, at the end of the day, when I get lit in the club, I have a good time. But when I'm not lit, I'm just like, I just want to go home.
yeah, I get it.
I'd like to add something with that Gen Z thing. I also noticed that Gen Zs, they don't go to clubs as much as millennials.
Really?
Yeah, even in the States, they can go to festivals. They can go to these big events or like
Concerts,
stuff like that. But club, but you just go to the club from 6 p.m. and just They're like, what am I doing there? Loud
They
music.
prefer to hang out with them with their peer group.
So I've noticed that's
So house parties are more prevalent. or what?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Most weekends, people would rather just link up at somebody's crib, enjoy music in your own space, play games, eat
But
the
also,
food
if
you
you're
wanna
doing
eat.
drugs,
And you can do those drugs that.
And also,
You know.
by the way, like that's led to even the rise of all of these online liquor stores and stuff. Because if you think about it, if you have your 10, 15 people in your house, you have booze, you have music, you don't really need to go to the club.
You're nice. Yeah.
know what I mean?
You can hire Andy Young as the DJ for the night.
Yeah.
Nafanya ka house
Or
party
the
ama
drug
Shinski.
tester.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She.
Man, listen, man, it's been an interesting conversation. Thank you very much, Shinski, for coming through.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Are you finished your tour? You got some? a few
Yo,
days
plug your
left?
tour, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got my last show in Nairobi. It's in Black Samurai this Friday.
Okay.
The 17th.
So
Okay.
tonight.
Then tonight, because this goes out on Fridays.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So Black Samurai, make sure you come out and say goodbye, Summer Bunnies. I think it's a quiety
Oh,
night for them.
watako huko.
Yeah.
Rose.
yo,
Official men.
I saw someone shouting to all the summer bunnies.
Yeah.
Someone tweeted out and said, "It's 15 days past January and you're still in Africa. How selfish!
Greedy.
How greedy! How greedy!"
How did you-
Glutton.
apart from your accident in Ghana, how did you find the energy? Because like Ghana is a different level of.
Oh, yeah. I think they party, I don't know,
They're
like...
still partying.
Yeah.
Still are.
They're still partying, like it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like the parties go on for like the whole
Right,
day.
literally, we're like halfway through January and these guys.
Yeah.
Final
lot.
all white party of 30 December.
Okay, this is the last one.
If I saw thingy, what's my guy, Michael Blackson, post up and say, "Yo, we're throwing the last one at Garage this weekend." I'm just like, good lord.
Another last one.
I love
That's
how
too much.
DC is having a time, manze. Even
DC.
seeing him dressed, like kind of
Attire.
African but urban.
Yeah.
I love it for him. Must be getting an experience.
But overall, though, I love how African Americans are now seeing Africa as a place. Like as we speak, as we're recording this, right? Rick Ross is down by Cape Town. And he's like, yo, you guys need to come to Africa and see this. You get, so I like that. And of course, also, with what Chris Brown also did the other day,
Yeah.
it's a big statement.
Yes,
You
yes,
see
yes.
now, like when artists were doing world tour minus Africa, now they're just like, hey,
Africa's the place
it's
to
not
be.
just a muddy hat anywhere.
Don't worry, man. We're building our 60,000 capacity stadium.
Yeah.
at Talanta.
Talanta.
We're going to have these big shows. I'm speaking it into reality.
Amen.
I think the major challenge for Kenya is it's the distance for Americans. Because Ghana, you can just go from New York to Ghana is like how many hours? Nine,
Well,
10
but
hours?
New York to it's by a long flight.
Yeah, it's a long flight.
New York to Kenya, Kenya
14
Airways,
hours,
14
yeah.
hours, yeah.
14 hours, 15 hours.
But Ghana to thingy, JFK,
Yeah.
it's a distance as well, almost like 11.
It's about 9, I think.
9?
10, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
But
depending.
also Ghana,
Brilliant historically as
Ghana has advertised itself for a long
Oh
time.
my gosh.
The
Yeah.
advertising part.
Yeah, they've done their part. So now Kenyans, we need to also, so we can get
Maybe-
more.
Maybe what we could do, we could try bring some more Chinese folk over here as well.
Why?
Do you have any ideas in mind, like maybe things us Kenyans could do to market ourselves better for that kind of export to get guys to come through?
I think music. Because the biggest export for Nigeria and Ghana is music. They've exported that.
Jamaica.
Even Jamaica. So even South Africa, the music.
Yeah.
is
Something we are not doing.
Bien, it's on you.
Of course, you can't force music down people. Like, we embrace and we receive music how we receive music. For example, let's take the one hit wonders who visited Nairobi or Kenya with just one song. Someone like Roberto, when he only had 2 songs, Amarula and I think African Woman, and he came through to perform. But you see, it took Kenyans to embrace and accept his music, and you're like, damn, every club in Nairobi is playing this guy's song. We need this guy, even if it's just for that one banger.
Yeah.
And I remember Nairobi had that trend. Just one song, bring the guy.
Yeah.
So if we are not getting the same kind of reception outside, well, besides now, because right now the consumption of local music is insane.
Yeah.
It's on steroids. But prior, it's like, you know, us, we've been the sponge culture. We've been the people taking in the content. We don't have a lot of Kenyan acts being played or listened to or demanded by majorities in the States or in the UK or in the UAE or in Asia, you name it.
Yeah.
So is that something we can do something about? Because you can't force someone to like the song. Or are there other things that we are kind of overlooking that we could be doing that we're not doing, that our brothers maybe in Ghana, even if it's at the government level, not necessarily at the ground level?
Yeah. I think it's a combination of everything. For me as a DJ, I'll just speak as perspective as a DJ, because of course politics is involved, the government, everything. That's something out of my control. But I feel like the packaging of the songs has to make sure that it can reach a global audience, and they can listen to it and be like, I don't understand what they're saying, but this makes sense. I like the way
like I'm a piano.
I'm a piano. So I think maybe for us, we just need a little bit of tweaking of that.
Okay.
Also, we can allow some space for trying maybe, let's say now we know, okay, Afrobeat and Amapiano is hottest thing right now. How about just doing like 2 or 3 songs that sounds a little bit similar to that? Because as a DJ, when I play in different crowds, especially like people, if there's no Kenyans, if I play Susanna, I can see the crowd that are dancing to it. Because there's some way they package that song.
It's universal.
It's universal. It sounds something familiar, but it's Kenyan. So that's what I'm saying. Like if we can do something familiar that,
like My Cherie by Ben as well.
Yeah, those songs.
Yeah, those are songs are beyond just.
Yeah, they can penetrate.
It's bien Sauti Soul.
Ben's the golden child, whether he likes it or not. It's his time.
Take notes.
And I said it on a podcast last week. I'm like, fam, when we had Camp Muller, we were that close. Because Camp Muller had a sound that was, it was so cool kid Kenyan, but so accessible internationally. Bien's the guy now. So Bien, it's on you. Like the whole future of the music industry in this millennia.
Damn, no
relies
pressure.
on you. No pressure. Man.
No, but Shinski, no, I fuck with that.
Just packaging. Just try to. Some songs can sound a little bit similar to Amapiano, but you have the Abington kids singing to it, and you're like, okay.
Because if you think about it, by the extension of that, and to agree with you, when Amapiano was just first blowing up commercially and stuff, right? Nigerians were like, we're gonna give you 1 year with that sound.
We'll show you.
Now.
Give it to us,
Ashake, all these guys were like, yep. And then it got to a point now where honestly, when you listen to some like I say high tempo Nigerian songs, and you're like, yo, this shit is like, in 3 minutes they've given us what the Amapiano guys need 7 minutes to give us. But then look at Diamond. Diamond came through with that Tanzanian commercial. Was that song? I don't know who it is that is with featuring Shu that one.
Shelly, what's that?
That one, yo.
Oh yeah.
Her vibe on that. Hey. Yo, that shit is wild. That shit is, and it's just vibes. So there's nothing wrong with cross-pollination of music. And end of the day, it's like there's as much space for a Cardinali or these guys of
Kina Brooklyn or who?
No, these guys, Yahweh Tafari. What's this guy in there?
Watenda Willie.
So
Jerry. Israel.
Yeah, there's enough space for them.
Everybody,
Max, Okello, there's enough space for them as there is for guys who are pushing on a different level,
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Maybe a bunch of guys from the government should go and do some benchmarking.
Listen,
and then you see the bill of the guys who are going trending. When they in Ghana, cause bro, it's every December I feel FOMO for our country. Cause it's like when guys are coming through to say you sell a product, right? But then a few miles from where you're at, there's another shop that sells something similar. You know, you can give guys something as good. You can give them a quality experience. But by virtue of the fact that their packaging looks better, their presentation looks better, and it's as vibrant, bruh, that's where we're gonna go. So if we have someone from our side going to benchmark on a serious note, because I'm sure very many business guys, business owners, club owners, benchmarking clubs everywhere, South Africa, Namibia, Cairo, you know, and they bring back the notes, try implement hapa na pale, but moving as a unit, I don't think I've seen that happen.
You know,
Because we can do that. We can easily get that kind of immigration or that kind of movement, you know, into Nairobi during the December holidays. Not just for the beach, not just for Masai Mara, you know, but these clubs in this urban scene, like, what does it have to offer? We have so much to offer, bro.
And the club scene is crazy. Even the festivals are crazy.
Yeah. Bro, in
It's just
December, just
relevant.
December alone, no.
Yeah.
Between November and December 31st, how many events do we have in Nairobi?
Too many.
Everybody's cooking every weekend.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, benchmarking
Yo.
inaweza.
All right. This has been the Mics Are Open. My name's G Money.
And the young.
Big C.
DJ Shinski.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Adios.
Boom.